Warriors of England, the War of the Roses, i.e. Wardrobe knows little to nothing about this except for that he's heard of the Wars of the Roses. You have the Lancasters. I gotta make sure I get this right. And you have the Yorks. And they are going to be battling for supremacy in these Victory Point, Texas. Ooh, -1 VP. What the heck? And when you get that, you're trying to be the first one to 15 victory points, or at the end of 9 turns, the one with the highest victory point total. It's going to be, McMurray and I are currently playing Storm over Arnhem. We've played Storm over Stalingrad. Very similar concepts, though it is interesting. This Warriors, there's Wars of Japan, which was first, Warriors of God, and now this came in Special Ops Magazine, which I'm going to do a little discussion on at some point. So that's why I'm playing this, because I thought, well, I might as well play it. It's not that it's 8 pages of rules, and we're going to give it a shot. I'm not sure how I'm going to film this right now. But anyway, it's the area control games have many similarities, but I say that, but then there's some differences actually in this one about how you combat and all that stuff. It's like, you know, now that I'm talking through, it's quite different. It's funny, I group area movement games kind of all area movement, but this has got just enough differences that it's like any hex and counter games. Like, oh, Goss is a hex and counter game, and so is Memoir 44. Well, sure. There is movement and combat in both. So that I'm sitting there actually talking this through live, sort of, because I don't write scripts. It's just a different kind of area control game. But because we're playing Storm over Arnhem right now, there's some similarities. But you're very restricted in movement. You can't battle across. You know, you have to be in. If I'm reading this right, you have to be in there to do it. I'm kind of tempted. I gotta tell you, while I'm sitting there making this video, I'm tempted to do some of this live, but I probably won't. I'm just gonna, honestly, here's the deal. I want to try to get through this game quickly because I got some stuff I want to do, but I do want to play a little bit and see what's happening here. So, but it is only 8 pages. I should be able to do it. And this playthrough, you know, I'm basically just going to be reading through I've read through the rules. Now I'm just going to basically go back through the rules and just follow step by step, trying to remember those future things to, you know, plan well for, you know, my moves and stuff. That is a challenge when you learn by playing by the sequence of play. Your first play is not going to be great because you're not really thinking about what you're going to do in step 6 and 7 when you're doing this stuff up here. And if it's a well-designed game, obviously, you know, the things you do up here will impact what you're able to do here and may impact what you do. Like maybe I don't want to retreat into that zone because of something you do here. So, okay, first turn done. The Yorks have 2 victory points compared. Yeah, they have 2 victory points. Remember, first 1 to 15 wins, or you total the victory points at the end of the 9 turns. So the Yorks gained some ground, though they did not take control of that. Just because you're the only one does not mean you automatically get control, which is kind of cool. There's a lot of really cool little things about this game I'm liking so far. Now, so the Lancaster did lose control of this. If they still had that, then it would be still tied. So that was a good thing for York. York has kind of this side. They're kind of pushing the Lancasters tied up against here to the east. Now, I did learn some things. You got to really be careful with attacking and things. Oh, this guy might have too many guys here, actually. Hold on. Yeah, you can't have that many guys. Sorry, bro. I have to relook at that. So levying, drawing troops up was cool. Now, this is interesting. If the Yorks don't get a hold of that, these guys could start losing control of Ireland. So that's into turn 2, fun stuff. And Henry the Sixth pardoned John Howard, Lord Howard, who was in the Tower of London because of his graciousness and love for the people. And he came back to the east fighting for the Lancasters. So Good on ya, Henry VIII, even though he's infirm and kind of like, boy, I'm not feeling myself right now. All right, see you, bye. Okay, end of turn 2. I wish it had years on it, but it kind of varies on the number of years that a turn covers. I think it's 4 to 6 years. So we are 8 to 12 years into the War of the Roses here. It's still, they're not gaining much control of anything, but the Lancasters are kind of really pushed back here. They have some nobles came back in here. Some nobles went into there. We had a great fight for Ireland. Everyone just basically killed each other. That was fantastic. These guys did come here for the Lancasters. So if they just stay here and don't do anything, they can maybe get some more control, because the controls didn't really switch. They're just slowly gaining. So it got up to 8 and then back down to, back down 4 for what they own. So it was 2, now it's 4. If they keep doing that, they're going to eventually lose this game. The Lancasters need to go on the offensive. But man, it is flipping tough. They keep getting nobles. But here's the thing, it's cool. You can't withdraw. So like in here, you've got 2 opposing, like 2 and 2. Well, this guy can't leave here because the only way you can leave is if you leave the same number of nobles opposing him. So like if I had a 3rd guy here, he could leave. But otherwise, like right now, these guys can't leave. So yeah, so I'm like, man, what do I got to do here? There was a big old battle here. It was 2 against 4. It's because they want to control that side because it kind of protects London a little bit. Now they've got this. They can claim that. That'd be good. And it kind of was blocking the Yorks from this part of the island, but they really got to start pushing them this way. But yeah, this is interesting. It's like you just kind of get troops and nobles dropping in here. But the Yorks have really got impressed. It's kind of interesting. I think the Yorks are probably going to maybe try to push back and get this, like claim this here so they can get another victory point. Maybe they can hop and skip over here, because right now with these 2 guys sitting here and like this, they're blocking them. These guys can't move, those guys can't move. So the Yorks kind of have the Lancasters blocked out. Now the Lancasters could move some guys in here and then move a guy over here. So they could do that. This is interesting. It's kind of a fun little way of doing this. Now, I don't know. I didn't hear much about Warriors of Japan. I think McMurray owns that. I might get that from him and see if I can play, because, this is kind of a fun way of doing some eras that I didn't know. I was thinking, oh, I'm going to give this game away, but I'm like, I don't know if I will or not. I definitely want to play my friend who just visited England and visited a lot of the War of the Roses. In fact, he just got a book on the War of the Roses that's kind of small. I'm like, I might want to read that. I don't know. This is fascinating right now. So definitely loan it to McMurray so he can play it. And I thought I would be able to finish this in a night. Okay. All right. So where do we stand here? Into turn 3. I thought I was going to stop doing it and go clip some ASL counters, but I'm just kept thinking about what I wanted to do. So this was a little bit more chilled stuff. I tried to avoid battles as much as possible. I had to do it here, just like I'm gonna have to do it here, because and I got to put aggressor there. So as soon as someone's put in there, they need to put an aggressor counter. So now the Lancasters so the guys that were in here got slammed and they had to move out, but they still couldn't get that occupied. They couldn't get that occupied. And I got to put aggressor on that guy because he moved in there. All right. So that's that. This guy's got 2, so now they're going to have a chance to... So now this guy can start moving out to maybe go take Wales or something, and maybe they can start kind of... Oh, he can't move in. If he moves in here, he's stuck there. So, see, look at that. Look at that. That's awesome. He's trapped in there. He can't get across there because as soon as he moves in here, he has to stop. So that's kind of cool. But man, I cannot get control of these. So I got up as high as 10 victory points, but then they did gain control of this one. So now they have 5 that are getting taken off of their 6. So now they only went up 1 more. They got up as high as 10 and then back down to 5 because they took 5 off. So that's pretty cool how that's going back and forth. But this is a losing. It's funny. I'm like, how are they going to get this? This is very interesting. Now they're going to take control. I passed a lot because I'm like, both sides kind of need to build up here. Doggone it, they got to if they get control of this one, that'd be 1, 2, 3. But if they get hold of this one, that'd be another 1 for them. So there's a lot up for control here. I mean, I'm kind of tempted now that they control this. I'm tempted to now move these guys here. But then, man, this 2 and the 8. I feel like they're just going to get slammed over there. Maybe I need to get aggressive here. But I don't get too aggressive because then these guys, you know what? I think the Lancasters are going to try to boot these guys out of the North Midlands this turn. I think that's what's going to happen. Or maybe build up troops one more time and then go in there. I think that's what's going to, because they control this now. They can, and these guys could actually move in there, but I don't want to move him. I don't know. This is what's so good. This is really fun. I'm enjoying sitting here thinking through what's happening here and what I should be doing. This is kind of interesting, building up this little troops here. This would be nice if they could get lock these down and then start moving up and start maybe try to take some land from the Yorks. But yeah, this is fun. I'm enjoying it. I keep saying that. So that's where we stand right now. 5 victory points for the Yorks. So if the game ends right now, the Yorks win. But we've got 6 more turns to go. So, and that one did go a little faster because I did less stuff. So yeah. Into turn 4. So we are 4 to 6 years. So 16 to 24 years into the battle, the War of the Roses. The Lancasters are making some progress. They got control of the southwest region. They've moved someone into Calais. Now they have. Oh, I keep forgetting to do that. Put an aggressor on that guy. They rolled to get that, so they gained that, and that's the only one. But so now it's 4, because the Yorks have not been gaining control. Now this was a good. Actually, this is kind of cool. So they had a unit placed in here, and they had to battle, ending up basically in the York guy. So he was basically all alone going to try to. My goal with that turn was to just get victory points. Well, then another guy was put in there. Probably this guy actually, and they battled it out, and both were one was exiled and one went to the covert box, and he went to the covert box in his back. So now it's another potential Lancaster, some swings here, and they are up there trying to get that. But here was an interesting thing. It was a really low initiative, impulses. So 2 impulses for Lancaster, 1 for York. So that went quick. And I couldn't therefore do anything with that because the Henry the 6th is excited to execute that guy. All right, that's that. Now 4 victory points for the Yorks. This is interesting progress. So just real quick, kind of an interesting thing of the game. So I've kept this guy in here to try to capture these 2 victory points because I'll just need to roll a 3 or less. Not happening. So I'm like, what do I do with this? So the Lancasters keep moving in there. Maybe they should move these 3 guys in here, but 3-starred. Oh yeah, this guy flipped. Richard, Duke of York, did flip James Touchet, Baron Audrey, Anyway, Audie over there. That was kind of cool. That happened. But I'm wasting a lot of power and energy here. But I'm trying, if I can get these 2 victory points for York, that would really help. So it's an interesting, again, and the cool dilemma. Like, what do I do? All right, that's a fun thing there. And like, the Lancasters got to start getting maybe a little bit more aggressive. Just so you know, I did roll a little bit more impulses for turn 5. Okay, end of turn 5. I've already started doing some stuff here. Initiative has been determined for turn 6. But just real quick, the Lancasters have 6 VP and they have 8. Now that's what they hold, but it's an end game, 0 sum game. So, but right now the Yorks are winning with 5, but the Lancasters are slowly chipping away here at that. In fact, I've already started making the moves. In fact, I've already gone through all the battles move. Into the campaigns, and now it's battles move in turn 6. But I just didn't do a report after turn 5. See ya. Into turn 6, Yorks have 7. Still hold 6 victory points for the Lancasters. York still hold 8, and we're moving to turn 7. And here we go. They keep trying to, actually, instead of trying to execute that guy, I tried to pardon him and bring him over to this side. That'd be good. This big boy, Edward Earl of March, came on. He's a killer guy. Look at that guy, bro. 3-6 and 3 stars. Woo, baby. All right. And the Lancasters need to get these victory points. It is hilarious, man. They're just like, come on. I put a guy in here so they wouldn't automatically get that. The Lancasters got to get kicking here in the next 3 turns, man. They got to eliminate some of these guys. They finally did get control of that, so now maybe this time this guy gets out of there. Yeah, I don't know. Got to think through this. All right. Lancaster's got to get aggressive, I think. All right, we're moving into turn 8. Right now, where it stands, the Lancasters get 5 points because they've got this bad boy here. I did not have someone in here to try to claim a victory point in that turn. That was dumb. One of those guys should have been here to roll on it. Bad move. That was really a bad move. And then because this guy was also bumped here. Now, this guy's going to move up here during the turn. But unfortunately, that takes a whole impulse. That's a bad thing. Because I think the Lancasters are just going to, they need to attack. They've got to have some major point swings. I just do not see how this is possible. This will be interesting. I don't see how it's possible because right now they're sitting at 11 points. And if this turn ends right now, they'll get the 4 points they need to get to 15. And they will win the game at the end of turn 8. So the Lancasters have to attack. But they'll get this guy out of there for sure. All right, we'll see you. All right, look at that initiative roll for turn 8. That's 7. So the Lancasters have 7 impulses to do some serious business. We'll see you. Turn 8. I'm in the middle of turn 8 right now. We got battles going on in the Southwest, in the West Midlands, in the North Midlands, and over in Wales. So here we go, boys and girls. Well, I'm calling it because at the end of turn 8, beginning of turn 9, same settle, they get 9, they get 6, so they're up to 14. So it's not an automatic victory, but man, I had all those battles going on in here. They wiped them both out. This Richard of Duke of York, forget about it, man. That guy is just a monster. In fact, I'm tempted to send, depending on the initiative roll is, if I could, I'd like maybe, look at this, they just like, not taking it. So I'm like, well, I don't have anything else to really take, really. But I don't know how, I mean, he could maybe get in here and take this out. They've got their London surrounded, so I mean, nothing's going to happen there. I mean, let's look at this here. If they get control of this, it'd be 1, 2, 3. So it'd be 3 more, so they'd be up to 9 themselves. Yeah, but they're not gonna. If that's, they'd have to get that. Yeah, they just can't do it. Maybe 10. They're not gonna whittle it down enough to matter. Yeah, I'm calling it. It's over. I mean, they are a huge attack. This guy can't be a huge attack. Part of the problem is like, so the most dice they can roll is 5 for their attack, and the dice they're rolling is 8. Now they're both hitting on 6s, but you're just gonna whittle away. You're rolling 3 more dice, you're gonna get more 6s. Over here, it was just redonk, man. It was just crazy. They just like, yep, see ya. So okay, that's the game. Some neat little functions there. So like if you you retreat, you're disgraced, so then you cannot levy troops, so then that comes off. That's kind of cool. Like up here, I think I definitely did this wrong in a few battles, but I don't think it really made a huge difference. But like up here, so they just got wiped out. I mean, at some point, like they forced them to withdraw, so these two guys went back in here to South Midland. But then everyone else that was with them had to roll on the attrition table and lost all those troops. So that's hardcore. And that happens when if you're the aggressor, in the first round you miss, you get that. The second round you miss, you get that. And if you miss when you have that on you, then they can make that decision. Are they going to keep combating you, or are they going to force you to retreat? That's a huge thing, forcing you to retreat, because then, you have to wipe out a bunch of guys. I'm sure I'm not making sense. That was pretty fun, though, I gotta say. Now, maybe this is developed better than Warriors of God and Warriors of Japan. I don't know, but I enjoyed that. So good job, MMP. It's cool. I'm now going to read the history of the more at least in the magazine, and maybe borrow my friend's book. I'm going to loan it to McMurray, see what he thinks, and probably loan it to the other wargame guys who didn't get the magazine here, and just let them see what they think. I mean, it's pretty simple, and maybe there's not much depth here, but the first play was fun. So maybe if I played it 2 or 3 or 4 times, I'd be like, and playing an opponent, be a different experience, of course. Maybe I mean, that would be pretty discouraging as the York player, I gotta say. So I gotta take that into account. If I was a York player, I would have been, that would suck. It's like, you're like, what can I do? What can I do to beat this guy? So then it makes me wonder if I'm playing it correctly. So I'll have to double check and make sure I was playing it correctly. But you just load him up with some guys. Now, you're locking down a lot, but, you know, move him around, like start taking some of these guys down here. Maybe what I should have maybe done as a York player is once I kind of solidified this whole thing, start moving guys with him, move to the east and flank these guys, and then start moving. Then you can go into London, maybe, and go get that. So that would be the thing as a York, take care of that business. So I didn't roll for King of 6, though he would change. Bloop. He's infirmed. This is kind of weird. I don't know what to do with him. I didn't know what to do with him the whole time, because as soon as you leave a 3 prone guy there, you lose that control of that. You lose that 3 VB. So you have to have a 3. So I just leave him in there because unless it would have been better to have. But then at some point it's just like, well, especially when they don't hit. Anyway, I'm rambling here. Fun time. Enjoyed it. Nice job. We'll see ya.